Several years ago, I began the process of decluttering and minimizing our home. There are many reasons why I chose to do this, the main being that I wanted to simplify our lives by eliminating the excess so that there would be fewer items in our home to manage, freeing up the time it takes to clean and care for our home and its contents, and therefore allowing more time for the things that really matter. After I began my minimalism journey, I came across Margareta Magnusson's book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. I realized that this was an important concept that I wanted to embrace. Her book came out in 2018 and introduced the Swedish concept of death cleaning to a global audience. It invited us to engage in a process of decluttering and simplification with a unique twist, imagining what we would leave behind for others to sort through after our passing. The actual process of decluttering is fairly simple, and in a video from a few months back, I took you through each step, starting with clothing. If you missed that video, I'll have it linked in the description box below. I first began decluttering our home starting with my clothes. First of all, I wasn't sure my family would be super enthusiastic about the changes I wanted to make, so I started with my own possessions, which seemed like the best and most fair way to begin. And as it turned out, simplifying my wardrobe had such a positive impact on my life that I was confident making similar changes all over our home would have the same benefits. Not only did this turn out to be true, but the rest of my family experienced the benefit as well, and they were won over and inspired to shed their excess possessions too. Hi, I'm Robin. Welcome to my channel, Faith and Flower. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I have learned many valuable lessons from Swedish death cleaning, insights that extend beyond mere decluttering and speak to deeper aspects of life, legacy, and the true meaning of our belongings, and I'll explore some of those in today's video. I also learned that this is an ongoing process, so I'll take you along as I revisit a few areas of our home that need a little bit of maintenance. As I was putting away some table linens this week, I realized that this drawer was getting a bit full. I rotate through its contents as I set the table with each change of season, and I've been holding on to these placemats even though I haven't used them in a couple of years. They're still in good condition, so I will donate them so that they can bless someone else, and that will free up some space in this drawer. I learned with my clothing that the one in, one out rule is the best way to manage my closet. Practicing that in other areas also works great, so whenever I buy something new, I let go of whatever it is replacing. I guess that should seem obvious, but you might be surprised to find duplicate items, especially in the kitchen, that are no longer of use but are taking up space and crowding your cabinets and drawers, making it much harder to find the items you actually use. I recently bought a new can opener to replace one that is no longer working, so the old broken one needs to leave. I like taking a couple of minutes to sort through drawers like this periodically to reassess each item. And this time I also realized that I can let go of an old thermometer because I now have a better one. It's not broken, but I don't need two, so I'll pass it on to someone who can actually use it. I also recently bought a new immersion blender, so the old one went into the donation bin where I collect items like these, so that when I come across something that needs to go, I have a place to put it, and then when the bin is full, I'll take it to the donation center. It's always amazing to me how some things can accumulate in plain sight. For example, my makeup drawer. I use this drawer every day, But yet, I somehow overlook items that I never use. This week, I took a few minutes to empty everything out and sort through what I'm actually using and what I'm no longer using or even need. I've been minimizing my makeup over the last few years too, and found that I really only need a few products. There have been several benefits to doing that. It takes less time to get ready in the morning, I save money by buying less products, and I can choose better quality products with the budget that I do have. While everything was out of the drawer, I took the opportunity to clean my drawer organizers. If you are just starting on your journey to a more clutter-free home, it might be better to stay focused on decluttering and not get sidetracked by cleaning, at least on the first round. Doing everything all at once could be overwhelming, so you shouldn't feel bad about that. Later, when you are in maintenance mode, you can couple decluttering and cleaning if you have the time. I also think that a great way to gain momentum when decluttering is to set obtainable goals, such as sorting through just one drawer. You will see immediate results without becoming overwhelmed because a lot can be accomplished in just a few minutes. You'll be so pleased with the results that you will be inspired to continue. Later, with several small areas under control, you'll be ready for a larger project, such as a closet. In my previous video, I took you into my closet to sort through my clothing, so that is done. But since then, I have allowed the shelves to become a bit disheveled. There isn't much decluttering that needs to be done, just some organizing, and that can be accomplished in just a few minutes. A refresh will be easy because the inventory is under control. So first I will clear everything out. A few items like the hats will go to their home in our hall closet. I want to return my out-of-season handbags to their dust jackets and neaten up the smaller handbags to reduce the visual clutter. And I want to install something that will help me organize my necklaces and keep them from getting tangled, which has been a problem in the drawer where I've been keeping them. basket had been empty for the most part. It just had some of the dust jackets that I'm going to use for my handbags. So I used it to file away these smaller bags. I'll be able to access them easily up on the higher shelf, but they will be out of sight and will reduce the visual clutter on the shelves. I bought some acrylic necklace holders that I can mount with some adhesive stickers. I'll have them in the home section of my Amazon store, and the link for that will be in the description box. I hung my gold necklaces on this side and my silver ones on the other side. No more tangles, and I can now easily choose which one I want to wear each day. With my out-of-season handbags stored in their jackets, I can tuck them out of the way, and the top shelf will look a little bit neater too. Now I have room to display the handbags I'm using this season, which will make them more convenient to find and will give my closet a bit of a boutique feel at the same time. I've always enjoyed having these family pictures in my closet along with a couple of keepsakes, but not too much, so that there is still some counter space available to use if needed temporarily while Patrick and I are getting ready each day, and to keep the visual clutter to a minimum. That was easy, and it only took a few minutes. Because I'm keeping our closet clutter-free, regaining order is no problem. With those smaller tasks complete, I was ready to tackle a larger one, our storage closet. This closet is off of our bonus room, which is Patrick's office. We don't have a basement and don't use our attic for storage, so this area is where we store a variety of items. We store our shoes, vacuum, luggage, out-of-season clothing and bedding, surplus food and household items, along with all of the other miscellaneous items that don't otherwise have a home. Patrick recently converted the hanging storage we had on the left side of this shelving system to shelves, which we quickly filled with random items. This is my main focus. There are several items that need to be decluttered, and everything that remains will need to be grouped and organized. So I'm just going to follow the same process I showed you earlier in our bedroom closet. Core, Swedish death cleaning compels us to confront our mortality and consider the legacy that we'll leave. While this might seem initially morbid, it is actually profoundly life-affirming. I think that the process encourages us to evaluate the significance of our belongings and to question whether they truly align with our values and intentions. One of the primary lessons that I have learned from Swedish death cleaning is the importance of mindfulness in acquiring and retaining possessions. In a world that's inundated with material goods, it's very easy to collect belongings without much thought. However, with the principles of Swedish death cleaning, I've come to appreciate the significance of intentional consumption. Each item that we bring into our lives carries a weight, not only in terms of its physical presence, but also in the mental space it occupies. This practice prompts us to carefully consider whether an item enhances our life or becomes a mere burden. This concept emphasizes the emotional burden that clutter can impose on both ourselves and our loved ones. The disorganized state of this closet is a good example of the mental toll our possessions can take. Every time I have walked into this closet recently, I leave with an underlying stress. There are too many things in here to manage. I have spent time mentally decluttering and organizing that could have been spent in more constructive ways, and I'm sure that it has been stressful on my family as well. Our possessions are not just objects. They are steeped with memories, emotions, and stories. Yet as we accumulate more and more, the sheer volume can become overwhelming. The process of sorting through a loved one's belongings after their passing is undoubtedly challenging. Swedish death cleaning encourages us to spare our families and friends this burden by curating our possessions thoughtfully during our lifetime. I have found this to be so motivating. Does that resonate with you? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. This large canning pot is not compatible with the induction stovetop we have here in our new home. It has been mostly used to contain a few rarely used kitchen items and canning equipment. My parents just gave us their large stock pot, which they are no longer using, and I've always loved this pot. It will work on our stovetop, and I might even be able to use it for canning as well as several other things. It is easy to make the swap. I can get rid of a duplicate and I can pass the old one on to someone else. In fact, I just got an email asking for items to be donated for a fundraising yard sale that will benefit a cause we support. So this project came at the perfect time because there are a couple of things we can happily contribute. Unfortunately, I still haven't found a way to donate my wedding dress. Every place I've contacted has more than they can currently handle, so I'll wait patiently and hold on to it a little longer. The boxes that are going on this upper shelf mostly contain photos. One day I will organize those, but for now, here is where they will stay. So I'm definitely not perfect here, and there will be more to do, but I am making progress. This duffel bag contains our ski clothes and helmets, and I have just a few hand-knitted sweaters that the boys wore and are worth keeping for the next generation in the bag I'm putting on top. We also have artwork in here that we intend to use. We just haven't quite finished some renovation projects, and so here they will stay until we can decide where to hang them. I'm using this shelf for anything canning related, and I'm glad to see that it all fits in one area. The blue jars belonged to my grandmother, and I don't use them for food storage anymore, but I do bring them out to use as decor every so often. The shelf below that will contain a few more food containers and the rest of my decor pieces. On the remaining shelves, I'm going to put items that might traditionally go in a china cabinet. We don't have one, so these things are going to live here. When it comes to items like these, I have decided that if we keep it, we must actually use it. So having them grouped together here should help remind me of what we have so that I can use them as frequently as possible. I have been steadily decreasing the amount of Christmas decor we store over the past few years as well, and we usually keep what we have in our garage. Our garage, however, is currently being repaired following the hailstorm we had back in the fall. So fortunately, there is a little more room in here for some of it, and that's what's going in this area. Any storage space will need to be periodically assessed to see if there are items that can be decluttered. But the more you pare down, the easier it will be, and the easier it will be to keep organized. We still have a long way to go, but consistently peeling away the layers will keep us moving forward toward living more intentionally and minimally, so that we can devote our time to the things that really matter. That feels so much better. A weight lifted literally off my mind. Now I just need to donate these items, recycle these, and break down and recycle all of these boxes. Oh yeah, I'll need to grab my now full donation container too. I hope that you found this video helpful and that you are inspired to tackle some Swedish death cleaning in your home. If so, give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who could benefit from seeing it too. Don't leave without subscribing. We would love to have you join us here at Faith and Flower, and leave a comment below because you know I love hearing from you. See you next Sunday, and until then, have a wonderful week.